Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Decode with Padmaja. ఈ రోజు మనతో రేణు దేశాయ్ గారు ఉన్నారు. మనకి రేణు దేశాయ్ గారు యాజ్ అన్ యాక్టర్ బాగా తెలుసు, బట్ ఫ్రమ్ వేర్ డిడ్ షీ స్టార్ట్? సో రేణు గారు, వెల్కమ్ టు ద షో.
Thank you.
And when I say let's decode,
Yeah.
you've been a woman of substance, starting off as a stylist, you've gotten into producing, తర్వాత directionలో ఉన్నారు,
Yeah.
and you've been an actor yourself. There's so many hats that you've been juggling with.
Yeah.
So can you just initially start decoding to us as to how styling came into your idea?
Oh, styling. So that happened very naturally. I was on the direction team of the movie Kushi, and then we had gone to London with my ex-husband, and he was looking around for some clothes. And I started picking up stuff because I'm an artist. I've done my art exams, so I understand colors and color combinations. So as I started picking up stuff, I said, "Ee chudu, ee t-shirt chudu, ee shirt chudu, ee pant chudu, ila pettachu, ila eskochu, ee checkered shirt." And he started liking what I'm picking out for him.
But మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేసిన టైంలో స్టైలింగ్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్
No, there was no concept called stylist. I'm the OG stylist. So I started in 2001. There was no term called stylist. People used to say costume designer. I said, I'm not a costume designer. Costume designer is someone who goes to the art school or NIFT, I think, and they learn designing. I can't do sketching and I can't do cutting and all that. I can put a
Things
t-shirt
together.
or a sari and a blouse together. So that's styling. So I started the concept of styling in the Telugu industry. So I did Kushi, then I did Gudumba Shankar, I did Balu, Bangaram, even till I think this film Jalsa.
ఓకే.
Yeah.
సో ఒక స్టైలింగ్ ఒకటి అర్థం కావాలి అంటే యూ షుడ్ బీ ఏబుల్ టు సీ ద పర్స్పెక్టివ్స్ ఇన్ డిఫరెంట్ థింగ్స్, స్టార్టింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ టెక్స్చర్స్ టు కలర్స్ టు ఎవ్రీథింగ్. అలాగే లైఫ్లో కూడా
Yes.
దెర్ ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్ లేయర్స్
True.
టు వాట్ ఎవర్ వీ డూ.
Yeah.
సో అక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్టింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ మేబీ ఐ రిమెంబర్ you for the first time when I saw you was maybe in Badri.
Yeah.
That's
That's
that
how I've
little
been
girl.
introduced to the Telugu audience.
Yeah,
as
so
an
that's how I
actor,
know
yes.
Renu. But today when I interact with you, and we've been talking for quite some time, and what I see is a complete transition. Though I didn't know you maybe personally then, but I see the depth of a person now. So your journey from being that light-eyed, maybe ambitious or that bubbly girl to who you are today.
I think I'm still bubbly.
Yeah, but then you have that elegance.
I feel I'm very tomboyish. I want to
There
be
is
very
there is a certain
elegant
elegance in that
Yeah,
also. Being tomboyish
okay.
is not being not elegant.
Okay.
It's about what I'm asking is the journey.
Yeah, we all grow. Now, when
Yeah.
you saw me, I was 18 and now I am 42. So I think age does sort of temper you. Kunchum wisdom vastundi anukunta.
మనం ఇందాక మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు there is a price that we pay
Yeah, we
for
all
the
pay
wisdom.
a price. Absolutely. There is a price that has been paid. If I didn't have this kind of personal life that I had with the divorce and everything, might be some other personal challenges could have come up.
For learning.
Yeah,
For learning.
I would have been happily married, but then other challenges would have been there. So life, I feel, from the minute you're born till you die, every day is like an interesting journey. Some days are very difficult, some days are very easy, some days are very sad, some days are very happy. And then we have the average day-to-day life. Morning levali, work pan cheyali, బాధ్యతలు చూసుకోవాలి, health చూసుకోవాలి. So I think people evolve. అందరు నేను కాదు, అందరు జర్నీ ఇది, బికాస్ ఐ థింక్ వీఆర్ ఇన్ ద మీడియా or we are in front of cameras or we are in the public eye, so our journeys are more documented.
Yes.
Or more sort of looked
Evident.
into
Yeah.
with a microscope. But I think all human beings who are born go through some kind of a
I like the way you said evolved, because చాలాసార్లు నేను ఏం వింటానంటే మీరు మారారు, మీరు
we don't
మారిపోయారు.
change, we never change.
Yeah.
We never change. I always say,
In fact, when you evolve, a change అనేది కూడా that's inevitable. You're
Yes,
supposed
yes,
to
yes,
change.
yeah.
సో ఒక మారటం అనేది ఎందుకు జనాలు అంత నెగటివ్గా కూడా ఆలోచిస్తారు, ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఎందుకు నెగటివ్గా మాట్లాడతారు?
బికాస్ అవుతుంది చాలా మంది వెన్ దే ఆర్ ఫేస్డ్ విత్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఆర్ పెయిన్, దే ట్రై టు గో, దే బికమ్ అ లిటిల్ నెగటివ్, దే బికమ్ అ లిటిల్ సవర్. కొంచెం విసుగు వచ్చేస్తుంది వాళ్ళకి, ఆ కొంచెము చిరాగ్ కోపాలు ఇలాంటి ఈ ఎమోషన్స్ ఎక్కువ అయిపోతాయి వాళ్ళకి. సో దట్స్ వై చేంజ్ యూజువలీ ఈజ్ అసోసియేటెడ్ హ్యాస్ అ నెగటివ్ కానటేషన్.
కరెక్ట్. మీరు మారారు అంటే నెగటివ్,
or they become quiet, or they become depressed, or they become sad. So that's why change మారారు అనగానే జనాలు మామూలుగా ఇట్స్ మోర్ ఆఫ్ అ నెగటివ్
వాళ్ళు
కానటేషన్.
మారిపోయారు అన్నట్టుగా.
But not necessary. Some people change for good. Some people become calmer, wiser, kinder, nicer. So depends. But I feel we evolve. We have always been evolving genetically. Also, if you look at the whole, from the ape to the man, and from birth to death.
And it's only because of the change that we are here today.
Absolutely.
సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ జర్నీ ఏదైతే ఉండిందో మీది, ఆ జర్నీలో ఇఫ్ ఐ ఆస్క్ యూ వాట్ ఆర్ దోస్ మెయిన్ పాయింట్స్, ఆర్ ఇఫ్ ఐ ఆస్క్ యూ is there anything different that you would tell to that 18-year-old girl who had started off?
Oh, that's a big question. Or I would just tell her that just enjoy whatever you have, because things change, situations change, and we always at that moment we feel, oh, this is so difficult, oh, this is, or sometimes we just feel, oh, I am so ugly right now, or I'm so fat right now, and then after 5 years you look back at the pictures, I'm like, oh, I was not that fat.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So I will
very commonly we feel that. Yeah.
So I would tell the 18-year-old ki it's not so bad, chill, and some things will get better, some things will get worse. So just take it more, be little more ఎలా చెప్పాలంటే less
critical about yourself.
Less critical and I used to be very over sincere.
Over sincere.
I am very over honest, over sincere. Koncham I should have enjoyed my teenage a little more. I should have enjoyed my, those young years a little more.
Yeah. Again, I want to, for us to now decode this. Over sincere annar chusara. That's so much packed in itself. Over sincere anedi. In a way, maybe that's the reason we overcompensate in relationships, overcompensate for
but
things.
That all stems again from your childhood, na Padmaja. For me, I was over sincere because of the childhood or the birth that I have. I was born a girl child. I have said this in my earlier interviews. And my parents didn't want a girl child. వాళ్ళకి అమ్మాయి పుట్టింది కాబట్టి కొంచెము నాకు పక్కన పెట్టేశారు. చంపలేదు, because they were educated, I guess, but typical the female child, because I was the second one. Akka tarvata nenu puttanu kabatti. So my entire childhood was just to be like the prodigal daughter, to make my parents like me. So I'll get
to please them.
Yeah, to get the best marks, so my mother will love me. I will not either allari cheyakodu, so my parents will love me. So for me, my over sincerity came from my birth. Every person has their different journey. For me, it was
సో మీరు అనేది లైక్ అది ఓవర్ ప్లీజింగ్ నుంచి వచ్చిన సిన్సియరిటీ, అంటే ఐ వాంట్ టు బి ద క్వింటెసెన్షియల్ గుడ్ గర్ల్,
prodigal daughter. So at least I will get love from my parents. At least అప్పుడు కొంచెం తల్లిదండ్రులు కొంచెం ప్రేమిస్తారు అని. సో
అది ఇట్ మస్ట్ హావ్ ట్రాన్స్లేటెడ్ ఇంటూ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్ ఆల్సో. జస్ట్ అక్కడే కాకుండా మన పర్సనాలిటీ అలాగా అయిపోతుంది.
పర్సనాలిటీ being like that, to be over sincere, over honest, over nice, like everything is overcompensated instead of just being normal.
సో ఇప్పుడు ఆ 18 years నుంచి ప్రస్తుతం 42 years అని మీరు నిజంగా మంచిగా చెప్పారు అంతా. సో ఇలా ఇంత నేర్చుకున్న మీరు టుడే, see as a single mom, you're definitely bringing up your children. And I can say somewhere I resonate with that. And నేను అనేది ఏంటంటే ఈరోజు పిల్లల్ని మాత్రం పెంచడం అనేది కాదు, we are kind of crafting personalities.
Absolutely.
And because of, again, the given background and everything, already there is so much of expectation.
Absolutely.
Kada? So adi, how do you balance that, and how do you decode to understand that he's my child, but again he needs to be a personality. Adya is my daughter, but then again, then first time I think when we spoke, I loved the way you said, మీరేమన్నారంటే పద్మజ నేను పిల్లలతో ఏం చెప్తున్నాను, how I want them to grow up is, నా కూతుర్లా ఓకే, but tomorrow she's going to be somebody's wife. She's going to be somebody's mother. And I want her to be prepared for every role.
Not just wife and mother. She will be someone's boss. She will be someone's friend. She will be someone's colleague. సో షీ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి అ మెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ద సొసైటీ. సో నేను నా కూతురుని ఒట్టి పెంచట్లేదు, నేను ఎంతమందిని పెంచుతున్నాను. సో ఇది నాకు ఎక్కడి నుంచి థాట్ ఉంది, ఐ డోంట్ నో, మైట్ బి హవ్ రెడ్ ఇట్ సమ్వేర్ ఆర్ just came to me even right from Akira, from the minute Akira
that's
was
what
born.
you had mentioned, because
Akira పుట్టినప్పటి నుంచి నాకు తెలుసు నేను ఉట్టి నా అబ్బాయిని పెంచట్లేదు, నేను ముందుకెళ్ళి అతను మైట్ బి యాక్టర్ అవుతాడు, ముందుకెళ్ళి ఇంకొక నేను బేబీ కనేస్తే తమ్ముడు అన్నయ్య అవుతాడు, ముందుకెళ్ళి ఎవరు బాయ్ ఫ్రెండ్ అవుతాడు, హస్బెండ్ అవుతాడు, బాస్ అవుతాడు. సో హీ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ టు play multiple roles. So I have to make him a well-rounded personality. నా ఉట్టి నా అబ్బాయి నా బంగారం అని కూర్చోబెడితే he will become very single dimensional. So I did not want my child, especially coming to me and mothers like me who are from the film industry or politics or big business people, our kids are more in the public eye.
Correct.
So మామూలు ఒక చైల్డ్ తప్పు చేస్తే he will not be so severely judged. But if a film star's or a politician's child does a small mistake also, that
goes
child,
under the lens.
Yeah, the child is overly judged. So it was a very fine balance between giving them a normal childhood but yet making them responsible kids or responsible people, responsible human beings. So that was a little difficult. There are times where my kids used to get a little irritated and angry with me because I was disciplining them. And I was giving them little bit extra nyan. They say, "Mummy, don't give us so much nyan." I said, "I need to do it. If I don't do it, who will do it? Nenu cheyalante inkevaru chestaru." So when I tell a lot of women out there, especially when you're raising boys, you make sure when you raise your boy right, the girl child is automatically safe.
Absolutely.
So it is not you raising your girl child just jagrata undu paddati, you know, ala kaadu
time koche idi vesko adi vesko ane kanna I think it's both the genders.
I think I said this in one of the interviews which people were very horrified when I said it, is imagine if there's a rule like how we had a rule during COVID times, after 8 p.m. there are no men out on the roads. How safe women will feel. So it is not women who are the problem, it is the men who are the problem.
I mean, we can't just
no, I'm just saying, think about it. If there is a society, imagine there's a gated community where the security is women, the plumbers, the carpenters, everything,
if
the
that is normalized, yes,
is
in the
just
country.
women. So how safe the women in the house will feel. So you have to raise your son right. I don't know if I'm going off topic in our interview, but you have to raise your boys right, is what I tell the mothers most of the time.
Yeah. అదేలేండి, అంటే మీరు అనేది ఏంటి అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు అన్నట్టు బయటకు వెళ్ళినప్పుడు వాచ్మెన్ యూనో హీస్ అ మ్యాన్, యూనో టాక్సీ ఆర్ క్యాబ్స్ బుక్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే దే ఆర్ మెన్. వాట్ ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ ఆఫ్ వాట్ యూర్ సేయింగ్ ఇస్ ఇందులో విమెన్ ని కూడా నార్మలైజ్ చేసుకోగలిగితే.
No, raise your guys right. So if your boy is raised right, and even if it's 1 in the night and there is a girl sitting and he's a cab driver, but if the man is a right man, he will not harm the girl. He will do his duty, he will drive his car, drop whatever was dropped, take the money and go off. He will not harm the girl.
So it's about teaching them that respect goes both ways. Safety goes both ways.
Exactly.
The boys or the men wouldn't like somebody teasing them or doing all
Absolutely.
of that, right?
But that's see what happens is when it comes to feminism has again started getting a bad word because few women are wrong. If you look at the majority of the picture, 95% of the men really are not right, 5% are really good. But what happens, and 95% of women are being, every single woman has gone through some kind of domestic abuse or some kind of physical abuse or eve teasing. 5% of the women are bad. So it becomes just for those 5% of those wrong women who have gone and put false complaints against their husbands. They had a good husband and they put a complaint against a good husband. The whole of the 95% of the women get a bad name. This feminism useless concept, enduki feminism, extra feminism, title start chesestaru.
Because see, at the end of the day, more than any of these things, I think it's about people understanding to have a right intention. And actually ఇప్పుడు అంటారు చూసారా, ఎవరి జీవితాలు వాళ్ళు బ్రతికితే
అంతే.
ఎందుకు ఇంత ఇష్యూస్ ఎక్కడ, ఎందుకు ఇంత గోలా అండ్ ఆల్ దాట్. ఇట్స్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ మనల్ని మనం చూసుకుంటున్నామా లేదా. బట్ we think we have an eternal right to judge everybody. Or kind of
there's a standard thing that we live in glass houses and then we want to throw stones on other houses. So people don't realize that first meedi చూసుకోండి. Like sometimes when especially this wisdom has come with age, I said I myself have so many problems. I have to look into my finances, I have to raise kids, my health, my shoot. If my two friends are having some issues, I don't interfere, I don't get into it only.
Correct.
So the best thing in Telugu that I have learned till now is me chavandi. Because na chav nenu sastunanu. Since I'm already dying my death, why do you want to get involved? Some friend comes to you for advice and help is a different thing. General gossiping, general judgment, naluguru em antaru, enduku avasaram ledu.
In fact ఎవరైనా మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేశారో లేదో, ఒకవేళ అడ్వైస్ కోసం వచ్చినా కూడా I think at that moment what they're looking for is somebody who can just listen.
Exactly, they are not looking for literal advice. They're just wanting you as a soundboard. They just want to bounce their thoughts off, and then they themselves get you just have to be quiet and give them the space to talk.
ఒక్కొక్కసారి నేను ఎవరైనా క్లయింట్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు కూడా ఒకటే చెప్తుంటాను, ఏంటంటే ఎవరైనా వచ్చినప్పుడు నీ దగ్గరికి వాళ్ళకి అంటే నువ్వు అక్కడ ఉన్నావు కరెక్టే, ఐ మీన్ ఇట్స్ ది అటెండెన్స్ ఆర్ అటెన్షన్. నువ్వు ఉన్నావు కరెక్టే, బట్ నీ అటెన్షన్ ఎంత ఇస్తున్నావు. అగైన్ అటెన్షన్ ఇచ్చేది జస్ట్ ఉంటే చాలు అక్కడ. As you said, if you are as a soundboard, they will hear their own words.
Exactly. And
they will think their own thoughts, and they'll come up. ఎందుకంటే ఎంత కాదనుకున్నా మన షూస్ నుంచి when we are suggesting something, we are talking maybe from our perspective.
Exactly.
Which might or might not work for them.
True.
And ఒకవేళ వచ్చి గబక్కున ఎవరైనా చెప్పినా కూడా, if they don't go back and follow that or listen to that, again there are judgments.
Absolutely.
అడుగుతారు కానీ వీళ్ళు చెప్పింది వినరు or whatever it is, because nobody knows or nobody can live others'
exactly
life.
Every person has their own unique set of problems. There is no human being in this world today, the richest and the poorest, who doesn't have problems.
But whose life is giving an obligation or a statement that I will not give you problems?
No.
Why people look for that? Of course there will be problems.
Andarki unte, so everyone has to deal with their own things. And as I said, Naki, let people be sort of. So coming back to raising children, so if the mother especially raise their kids right, they will have this sense as grown up adults. And it will become a better society, a better place. Or you 100% avadu, because that will be a utopian concept, but at least we'll be in a much better place. And I think the world has evolved. I see the younger boys
very much.
They're so much more aware of their feminine side. And
in fact, this morning I was talking to somebody, Mother's Day coming up, they were asking me regarding some concept that we were talking about. Andulo kuda the point is, manam ela perigamo, obviously today the situations and the world is not that.
True.
Something which was luxury for us has become a need today.
Yes.
Something which was abnormal for us has become normal now.
Like iPads or
everything.
These things. Which when iPad came out, I was like, what is this concept? How can you just have this tablet in your hand, a screen in your hand? And for the kids, it's like, it's iPad, it's there. It's like iPhone or video calling.
So the very concept of, understanding that they're not living in our world, they're living in their world.
True.
అండ్ యాజ్ పేరెంట్స్ ఇప్పుడు ఎంత కాదనుకున్నా మనం అన్నాం ఇందాక, చైల్డ్హుడ్ నుంచి మనం పిక్ చేసుకున్న ప్యాటర్న్స్ కావచ్చు, ఇంకోటి కావచ్చు, విచ్ ఇస్ షేప్డ్ అస్ ఫర్ హూ వీఆర్ ఆర్ హూ వీవ్ బీన్ టిల్ నౌ. అండ్ people who like us, who've been conscious enough, how many unpeelings have we done? How much we've been peeling to understand, to get to the core of who we can actually be. So with this consciousness, ఇప్పుడు పిల్లల్ని if we can just let them be, ఎందుకంటే as parents, why should we parent them?
I absolutely agree. That's what I do with my kids. I very personally believe that I've given birth to sensible kids. Yes, they need guidance. Yes, they need parenting. But I feel they have intrinsic intelligence. They have life intelligence. We should not... For example, I'll give you an example. If Adya wants to eat ice cream in winter season, చలి కాలంలో నాకు ఐస్ క్రీమ్ అని బెంగ పెట్టేస్తే నేను నువ్వు తినకూడదు అనను. వాట్ ఐ టెల్ ఇస్ ఆద్య, నువ్వు ఐస్ క్రీమ్ తింటే బయట టెంపరేచర్ చూడు, చలి ఉంది, నువ్వు తింటే నీకు దగ్గు అవుతుంది, నీకు జలుబు అవుతుంది, నువ్వు స్కూల్ మిస్ చేస్తావు, నీ ఫ్రెండ్స్తో ఆడటం మిస్ చేస్తావు, నీకు మందు ఇవ్వాల్సి వస్తుంది, నీకు గుర్తుందా లాస్ట్ టైం నీకు దగ్గు వస్తే నువ్వు ఎంత సఫర్ అయిపోయావు, థింక్, ఆలోచించుకో.
సో ద కాన్సిక్వెన్సెస్ చెప్తాం.
యా, ఐ విల్ జస్ట్ టెల్ హర్ ద కాన్సిక్వెన్సెస్. డిసిజన్ ఇస్ యోర్స్. తినాలా తిను, వద్దంటే వద్దు. నీకు ఇఫ్ యూ ఫాల్ సిక్, నీకు దగ్గు వస్తే నేను మందు ఇస్తాను, నీ దగ్గర ఉంటాను, కానీ ద డిసిజన్ ఇస్ యోర్స్. సో అట్ దిస్ ఏజ్ యూ స్టార్ట్ మేకింగ్ దెమ్ థింక్. Instead of saying, don't do this, the child will want to do it even more.
Yeah.
If there is a hot thing, hot stove,
ముట్టుకుంటే తెలుస్తుంది కాదు.
ముట్టుకుంటే తెలుసు, అదే వేరే. But if I just tell her, if you touch it, you're going to get burnt, you're going to be in pain. If I just tell her, don't touch it, then that
the urge to go and
touch it will be more. I said, this will be the consequence.
Yeah.
If you, I don't want to study. If you don't study, you will not pass in exams. Then you'll have to repeat your thing. Your friends will go to the next class. You'll have to sit with a bunch of strangers. Decision is yours. Do what you feel is right. Oh, especially when it comes to Akira. Everyone has been asking me for so many years, oh, you are going to make him a hero. I said, who am I to make him a hero? I'm not, he's not a property of mine that I own. Like, this is my mobile phone, or this is my purse. It's not that. He is an individual. Whatever he wants to do. He says, I want to become a hero, I will support him. He says, I want to become a doctor, I will support him. So you can't own your kids. They are not your properties. They've just come via you.
Yeah.
You're just
a medium. Medium for them to figure out their own life.
And they're caretaker. And same I felt from, like, you know, I wish most of the parents understand this concept. Yes, you have a certain possessiveness and an ownership ki di na abbai, di na ammai ani, but you can't dictate their lives.
Yeah. I mean, intrinsically when you go, there is so much more there. For example, ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పిన దాంట్లోనే మీరు when you're giving those choices, when you're giving all of that, ఇంత చేస్తున్నప్పుడు కూడా at the end of the day, mother-child conflict అనేది that's something which will definitely
we will fight. We will
that's
fight
the
like
beauty
cats.
of it also.
We fight cats and dogs.
Yes. So my question here is, ఇంత open గా ఇచ్చినా కూడా platform or the entire scenario or the setting as such, ఇచ్చినా కూడా there will still be some feeling or some pent up emotion, because at the end of the day, growing up hormones.
We have to see, food has to be eaten at 7. Dinner has to be done at 7. You have to sleep at 8:30. But my friends sleep at 10:30. I said, that is their life. This is our life.
Yeah.
The reason I make you sleep is you need 8-9 hours of sleep. So you have to have that rest, and then I give them. So when it comes to certain discipline, I can't give them the 100% choice. Please stay. If you want to stay awake the whole night. Alla undadu. So even when you give them a certain freedom, or even when you give them a certain right of choice, there has to be a certain censorship or a certain discipline. It can't be, if Adya says I want to do a night out, I will not let her do a night out just because I'm giving her the freedom of choice.
Yeah.
So that is where the very fine line is between what to give, what not to give.
Yes.
That is a very big thing. For example, I'll tell you another small example. Few days ago, she had an evening snack and she was full. So she said, Mommy, I don't feel like having dinner. I didn't want to force her to have food. I said, think about it. Mali night 10 o'clock, I don't think I'm going to get hungry. I said, okay, don't have dinner. Skip dinner today. So where to push, where
calibrating,
not to, wherever. That's the I always say, when we deliver kids, we should also deliver with one handbook. Because every kid is unique.
Which again, it changes because everybody's situations, every family is
so
different.
Unique. Adya is so unique, born from the same genetic pool. So different. I am different. My elder sister is different. My younger brother is different. So every child is different one, and then every child has to be dealt with differently. And what is right, what is wrong, sometimes you never know. So you have to go with your sort of intuition and go with
ఈ aspect లో, if I can say, Rishi విషయంలో కూడా I have taught him only 2 concepts. There are certain needs, there is something that you want to do. ఈ నీడ్స్ ఫినిష్ చేసేసుకో, అంటే be it your homework, be it your basic vegetables or basic dinner, whatever it is,
can be
and then it's your want. ఇది అయిపోయినప్పుడు చూపించు, నీ వాంట్ దగ్గర నేను రాను. I think that's what worked in my
it's like when I serve them in the plate, this much dal, this much rice, this much kura, this much annam pappu, this much they have to eat. Dan tarata var ishtam, inka they can take a second serving. Correct. Or they want to have dessert, they don't want to have dessert. So this is the basic has to be done.
So what I was actually asking you there was, ila inta chesina kuda there will be issues.
There will be issues.
Have there been situations where they fought so much and they come back saying that, you know what, you were right.
Yeah. Lots of times.
Because for me, it's like, you know, an everyday thing that I see.
Very recently
Yeah.
also. I said, Adi, now tell what? Mommy is right. What you should do, listen to mommy.
Yeah. But then again, when the situation comes, it's back. So
That is
keeps going on.
That's just in a parenting is such a vast, undefined territory, I say. Because earlier, if you see, we lived in joint families. So there were the grandparents, both sides.
There was a whole ecosystem.
Yeah. So they say it takes a village to raise a child. It doesn't.
Correct.
It's not a single person's thing. So we had Nanamma, Tataya, we have Amamma, Tata. Then we have mamas, we have mamis, we had attas, pinnies, we had cousins.
Yeah.
So there was a whole group of people, you know, raising a child. So collective wisdom was coming. Now, unfortunately, because of our nuclear families,
now becoming more nuclear.
I'm becoming more nuclear with the divorces and single parenting. Yes. So it is a very tricky journey, I guess. Yeah. It's very tricky. You don't know what is right and what is wrong. I could have gone wrong in raising Akira. I could have gone wrong in raising Adya. Might be my disciplining could have turned them into a negative thing. You never know. It's always
a choice. It's a choice. And again, you know, we also learn by mistakes, right? Something wouldn't work. Whatever doesn't work, you change it. Whatever works, you repeat it.
Yes.
So I think, you know, that's what. So through this journey, in fact, we've been talking about a lot of learning that you've gone through as a person, as a soul, Anandi, quote Anandi. This entire journey, what has been something which has defined who Renu is today?
I'm still finding the definition. Still not defined. But no, I have nothing. I just go blank. Still no.
Yeah.
Can't come up with an answer for that.
Yeah, because, you know, there is so much, and అదే అంటాను కదా నేను చాలా మంది పేరెంట్స్తో మాట్లాడినప్పుడు what I in fact tell them is 42, 41, we're at this stage still trying to figure out what life is. And already మనం పిల్లల్ని పెంచుతున్నాం, పర్సనాలిటీస్ని డిఫైన్, యూనో we're helping them grow as personalities. So మనకి తెలిసినది కూడా the reason why I say that, you know, let's not be so rigid, because we don't even know. For a simple example, ee roju schools select chestunnamo, lepothe, you know, what they should be doing, ivanni manam chestunnam. But the world is changing so rapidly. Next 1 year, next 5 years lo em vastundo manaki teliyadu. So what are we preparing our children for?
What I do is I try not to be a helicopter mom. I don't want to constantly all nothing meedo కూర్చోకూడదు. I give them the freedom to think on their own. And as I said, they are living in this time. They are living in the times of modern technology. For them, a cell phone, iPhone is normal. For us, it was something, wow, iPhone. So they're like, it's iPhone. Oh, iPad. Oh, Apple TV. Oh, so Netflix.
ఇలా ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఇచ్చినప్పుడు I see a lot of parents saying that, you know what, వీళ్ళకి విలువ తెలియట్లేదు.
వాళ్ళకి బికాస్ దానికి విలువ లేదు. ఫర్ దెమ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నార్మల్. మనకి విలువ ఉంది. ఫర్ అస్ ఓ ఐఫోన్. ఫర్ చైల్డ్ ఇట్స్ దేర్. ఐ రిమెంబర్ ఆద్య వాస్ 6 or 7 months old, or no, 9 months old, and I just downloaded 2 games on iPad. Had just come when she was born. So I got my iPad when she was around 9 months old, and I remember sitting like one laddu laga. She's sitting, tiny finger. She could immediately 2-3 times she could make out, oh, she has to move the screen like this, and this is her app, and this is that cartoon will start playing. So for her, there's no value to it. It is just a toy.
Correct.
So value ante eppudu ante parents have heard them saying is, oh, we are giving them so much, mana enta istunaru valki value ledu. We are giving them, they are not asking.
Yes.
So why should they? I'm not, see, again there's a very fine line.
Thin line, yes.
A thin line between being ungrateful,
yes, and feeling entitled.
And
you know,
entitled.
Actually understanding being grateful for it and feeling entitled to it.
There's a very fine line. So as long as a child is not rude.
But chala sarlu, don't you feel that feeling is typically defined by how the parents ourselves we are?
One more thing that I thought of was, I think what happens is when you're giving them so much of luxury, if you can ground them with a lot of spirituality, then it, I think, balances out.
Yes.
You see, if I'm having a certain level of income and I'm able to afford a certain lifestyle, like if I'm able to afford flying, say, business class to a fancy location like, say, Switzerland, and living in a fancy hotel, I can do it, so why should not I take my kids? Fine.
Yeah.
But they should not వాళ్ళకి ఇక్కడ ఎక్కకూడదు. సో అది they should not get that
Situation మారినప్పుడు when
ego
they have
గానీ
to sit in
entitlement
another
గానీ
thing. Yes.
ఎందుకు, then you balance it out with a lot of spirituality, lot of ఎలా చెప్పాలంటే
Gratitude,
gratitude, lot of grounding. I'm not saying religion, I'm not saying
Correct.
prayers and all that, but they have to understand where it comes from.
The essence of everything.
Yeah, where it comes from. Your parents work hard. Like that day also for Adya's birthday, she wanted something, and she's a child. She's 13 years old. I said, Adya, your parents are working hard for this money. Your nana is shooting, doing so much of shooting, and your mother is working so much. I'm not keeping. Well, this money doesn't come easy. Money is coming, but it doesn't come easy. Your parents are working hard to earn the money. So might be if they start understanding where it comes from also and how it is,
that can happen only when we can keep it real for them.
real and transparent.
చాలా సార్లు పిల్లల కష్టం తెలియకూడదు.
Exactly. అన్ని దాచుకొని పెట్టేస్తారు. So the kids just get to see this amazing lifestyle of crores of rupees and diamonds and luxury cars and everything, and they don't know the struggle of their parents. So might be, see, as I said, I'm not an expert on parenting. Whatever little I have done in this last 19 years, I'm just sharing that. And I hope, touch wood,
Absolutely.
I have raised.
We are all, అదే చెప్తున్నా
I have
కదా,
raised
there's
them.
no single handbook for it.
There is no handbook. There is no this right and wrong definition for it.
సో రేణు, ఇప్పుడు ఇంతకు ముందు నుంచి మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు పిల్లల్ని లెట్టింగ్ దెమ్ బీ, a part of it we must have learned from how we grew up.
Yeah.
In a way where చాలా వరకు నేను పేరెంట్స్ దగ్గర ఎలా చూస్తానంటే, oh, I didn't have it, so I want to give it to my child.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, so now I'll give them.
Yeah.
వీళ్ళకి కావాలా లేదా అనేది సెకండరీ క్వశ్చన్.
Yeah.
సో అదొకటి ఉంటుంది. సో మై క్వశ్చన్ హియర్ ఇస్, ఎంతవరకు అవర్ చైల్డ్హుడ్ ఆర్ ద వే వీ గ్రూ అప్ డూ యూ థింక్ is actually influencing the way we parent?
Oh, 100% influence.
Complete.
100% influence. Na? That there is no doubt. Each and every parent who has had a child till now, from the, I think, start of humanity till now, we are whatever we are today is all how we were born and how we were raised and what thoughts we formed and what personalities we formed, and the same thing we sort of carry forward with our kids.
So that's a cycle.
So generational things happen, and that's why nowadays with therapy and we are breaking generational traumas, especially the female child carries the ancestral trauma. That's what I've learned. So
I'm so glad that you know those terms and you're actually, I'm sure you've had your own share of journey on that.
Yeah.
So in the law, emotional journey or emotional understanding or emotional therapy, emotional well-being, how important do you think it is?
It is 100% important, because what has happened, we as a society, as we start growing up, we have learned to hide our issues under the carpet so well.
Yes.
And then we feel ki, why is my professional life not working out? Why is my personal life not working out? Why am I getting divorced? Why am this is not happening? Why that is happening? Why am I getting cancer? Why am I getting throat pain? Why am I getting fractures? We don't want to ever associate that back with an emotional connect, because we feel what has happened, unfortunately, in humans, not just Western, I think total human annalante, anything to do with emotional well-being is related to mental illness. Pichchodu ani anestaru.
Yes.
Psychiatrist దగ్గర వెళ్ళటే ఓ పిచ్చోడు. So I can right now tell you, oh, I'm having leg pain, I'm going to my ortho doctor, or I'm having tooth pain, I'm going to my dentist, but I would feel shy or stigmatized or awkward to say I'm going to my therapist.
Yeah.
Or I'm going for counseling.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, నీకు mental issues ఉన్నాయా? So it is not, you don't have to be a proper mental patient. You just have a lot of emotional baggage that we carry right from our birth.
I am so glad that you're actually talking about it, because I think this has been my challenge. A lot of people still, somewhere they get confused. They don't understand what I do. They ask me, are you a counselor? I'm like, I'm not a counselor. How can I give you an answer for something that an issue that you have in your life?
That's what I like about my therapist. She makes me think. She doesn't give me answers.
Exactly. That's being a coach.
ఇట్లా అయింది, ఎందుకు ఆలోచించుకోండి.
Correct.
And then I think, and then the answer comes from me. And then it just like a bulb, it lights up, and I'm like, oh shit, this is the pattern.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Only then it'll stay with you.
And only then she said, I can tell you.
Correct.
She can see it as a therapist, as
Correct.
a trained professional. She can see the pattern. She can see the problem. But if she just tells it to me, she's just giving me like
Correct.
hand feeding me. That
Telida
give value undadu, or it will not come from like, you know, it will not change
because it's
me.
not internalized.
She
అప్పుడు
makes me
ఏమవుతుందంటే
think, yeah.
యాజ్ అ థెరపిస్ట్ ఐ సీ కదా, when ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఐ సీ క్లయింట్స్ హు గెట్ ఫ్రస్ట్రేటెడ్ బికాస్ ఐమ్ నాట్ గివింగ్ దెమ్ ది ఆన్సర్.
Yes. So this has happened. I don't know whether I should say it on camera or no. So one of the sessions, I was, she was like, what kind of a partner would you like now for second marriage? So I said, kind, caring, someone who understands I have kids, someone like this. Like I said, she says, and I said, then and might be financially stable. And she kept on asking, and I'm like, I've exhausted all the adjectives.
That's when you will dig deeper.
No, so I'm just sitting. She's think. So I'm sitting and thinking. And she said, that's it. She said, go through the list again. Kind, caring, responsible, honest, someone who doesn't cheat, someone who doesn't lie. And what else? Couldn't. Then she said, think. And then literally after 15 minutes, I came up with the word love. And I started crying. She said, see, because as a child, you were not given love.
Yes.
So love has never been a part of your vocabulary.
Yes.
Just if someone is kind enough to you, someone is nice enough to you, is become normal for you.
That is
Your
where
bar
maybe
is set so...
That is where maybe your overcompensation, you know, that thing also comes in.
And
there.
your bar was set so low because you were not given love as a child. So for you, love is supposed to be demanded or is needed, was never there. And I was like, yeah, love is the first thing you should want from your partner. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I'm like, okay. So these things, we need to sit and really give it a hard thought into. At least as you start growing up, once you become 18, 19, 20, you have to look at patterns.
Yes.
Your childhood patterns, your parental patterns, how your parents are, how your parents were with you as a child. Not necessarily all parents are bad. See, I'm a unique case. I have had terrible parents. Nalanti cases might be it's 1 in a lakh, I think. 1 in thousands, I don't know. But day to day, normal parents untai. Fathers who don't.
But
hate.
at the end of the day, man indak maatladinattu, we are still figuring out.
Yes.
Alaga mana parents kuda they must have
carried
been
their see, for example, I remember asking my mother when I was around 18 or 19. I said, Mummy, why didn't you love your kids? Because she said, my mother did not love us. So I don't know how to love my kids. And that stuck so hard with me. I said, when I have kids, I am going to break this.
Somebody has to make that conscious
I'm going to break this circuit.
effort.
I want to be a circuit breaker. So I gave so much love to my kids that my kids, like, I think I overloved them. So today my kids will never say our mother did not love us because her mother did not love her.
Yes. So somebody has to break that chain.
We have to, and it is very difficult because I have never had mother's love, so I did not know what is mother's love. I just went with my instinct. Like, this is a child I've
and I'm
given
sure
birth
the
to.
healing and, you know, the therapy that you've gone through has definitely surfaced all these things for you to actually work on them, right?
It has been it's like a Alice in Wonderland down the rabbit hole journey that I did and came out. And
ఇందాక you very beautifully you said, people wonder నా వర్క్ లైఫ్లో ఎందుకు ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి, నా రిలేషన్షిప్స్లో ఎందుకు ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి, లేదా యూనో నేను నా నేబర్స్తో ఎందుకు ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి, నాకు ఎక్కడైనా స్కూల్లో ఎందుకు ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి. వాట్ వీ డోంట్ రియలైజ్ ఇస్ వీ ఆర్ ది కోర్ రీజన్ for those issues.
We
attract, we create, we kind of, you know, we hold those patterns which ask for those issues.
Because we don't believe in the power of thought. Thoughts have power. Thoughts are nothing but energy.
They're nothing but energies.
So first the thought comes and then the action comes. Now first I'm thinking and then I'm talking. First my brain is thinking and then I will do an action. Okay, I am thirsty. So my brain first gave a signal and then I will go and pick up a glass of water and I'll drink. People should start giving importance to the power of thought. And patterns are very important. Start noticing patterns. It's magical when you start noticing patterns. But with that, you also have to have a lot of acceptance that you are also wrong. You are not this doodh ka dula chakkate bamma kaadu meeru meelo kuda chaala issues unnayi. So I had to face a lot of my shades of my negative shades, my minus points, and it's very painful.
So we all have to face our mirrors.
Because every human being thinks that he or she is perfect. నాలో ఏం తప్పు లేవు,
వాళ్ళ వల్ల నేను ఇలా ఉన్నాను, వాళ్ళు చేశారు
అంతే. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు యాక్సెప్ట్ సర్టన్ హార్ష్ రియాలిటీస్ కి ఎస్ ఎదురు వ్యక్తి ఈజ్ రాంగ్, బట్ దేర్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో సంథింగ్ రాంగ్ ఇన్ మీ టూ. And that is what is difficult. I think that's why people don't want to talk about it and don't want to go to therapies and they don't want to accept themselves.
That's because you will have to, ante maybe some people might call it the ugly side of ourselves or anything, because that's something which we shy away from.
Yeah, we all have.
But ade accept chesina rojuna,
yeah,
I'm sure you must have experienced it, because this is something which you cannot put in words.
Yeah,
ఎందుకంటే
it's
when you
liberating.
accept,
It's
yes,
liberating.
yes, because ఇంక అక్కడి నుంచి భయపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, సిగ్గుపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, అండ్ తక్కువ మనల్ని మనం తక్కువ అనుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. అండ్ వెన్ యూఆర్ లిబరేటెడ్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్, దాట్స్ వెన్ యూ ట్రూలీ ఎమర్జ్.
Absolutely.
అండ్ నేను చాలాసార్లు ఏమి చూసానంటే, వెన్ పీపుల్ కమ్ టు ఆస్క్ ఫర్ థెరపీ ఆర్ ఆన్సర్స్, what I see is the resistance ఎందుకు వస్తుందంటే, we all wish for the best things, but we don't think that we can get them.
Yeah, because we feel we don't deserve it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Most of the people feel they don't deserve joy, they don't deserve happiness, they don't deserve money, they don't deserve abundance of things in their life.
అంటే సింపుల్ గా చెప్పాలి అంటే, అరే I wish I have the most beautiful or the happiest life.
Because also but again, what happens where it again stems from the childhood, because in childhood most of the parents, if they are not hitting the child, కొట్టట్లేదు కానీ తిడతారు, బుద్ధి తక్కువ వెదవా,
అది ఇంకా ఎక్కువ
వెదవా, యాదవా, తిడతానే ఉంటారు, స్టూపిడ్ ఫెలో, ఇడియట్ ఫెలో, రాస్కల్ ఫెలో. సో వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ వెన్ యూఆర్ 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, it sort of becomes your thinking,
self-talk, that becomes your self-talk.
Oh, I am an idiot. So I have been very careful
అంటే అది ఎలా
with Adya and Akira not to use negative words for them. I have been so, because when they make a mistake, it's so easy for me to just call them, hey, idiot. So I'm like, no negative words, no. So it was a rule in the house, even for Adya and Akira also, to fight as siblings, that they're not allowed to use negative words for each other.
అది యూజువల్లీ ఎందుకు అవుతుందంటే, మనం అన్నిసార్లు వెన్ ద నెగటివ్ వర్డ్స్ ఆర్ యూజ్డ్, అంటే ఇప్పుడు లైక్ నువ్వు ఒక వెధవా, నువ్వు ఫూల్, అది ఇది అన్నప్పుడు ఆ సెల్ఫ్ టాక్ ఎంత ఇంట్రిన్సిక్గా ఇన్గ్రైన్ అయిపోతుంది అంటే, రేపు ఒకవేళ సపోజ్ దే ఆర్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు డూ సంథింగ్, గబుక్కుని నేను వెదవను కదా, నాకు రాదు కదా,
that words come, the negative words start,
అది మళ్ళీ కాన్షియస్ గా ఆలోచిస్తారని కూడా కాదు. సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ ఇట్ ప్యాటర్న్ అనేది అయిపోతుంది. సో ఇన్ యువర్ ఎంటైర్ జర్నీ నౌ, వెన్ యూ వర్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ బ్రేకింగ్ యువర్ ఓన్ ప్యాటర్న్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దట్, do you see a change in Renu as a mother before you went to therapy and after you've been to therapy?
As a mother, not much.
Okay.
I think as a mother,
maybe consciously you were
I was
careful from before.
Definitely sorted and more conscious because of my mother. But there's a huge difference in me as a person. Not outwardly. It was not that I was more harsher or more impatient, and that has changed. I have just got a better understanding of myself and why things happen to me. That understanding I got.
That's a wonderful point. Why things happen to you.
Why these things happen to me. For me, so it started, why was I born as a girl child? What my soul journey
so you've
was.
gone much
I
deeper.
went way deeper into it. Ki why, what my, I went on a soul level. So nadi kunchum,
I mean,
it's a very complicated, complex and a very deep journey that I've gone through in therapy and hypnosis and all that. But as a mother, one thing I always like, mother, not much of a difference. Now that I'm thinking, you made me think, not much of a difference. Mother,
because you've been a conscious parent from before.
I've been a very conscious parent right from day one.
Yeah. ఎందుకంటే మీరు ఇందాక అన్నట్టు నా వర్క్ లైఫ్ లో ఎందుకు ఇష్యూ ఉంది, బట్ అది కూడా సంథింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ చైల్డ్హుడ్ or from somewhere as experiences, because we're nothing but products of our own experience.
Absolutely.
సో అది మార్చుకోగలిగితే. అండ్ ఇంకొకటి ఏమవుతుంది అంటే, ఒక్కొక్కసారి మనం మార్చుకుని మనం నేర్చుకున్నదో లేకపోతే ఓకే టిపికలీ ఐ షుడ్ సే కోపింగ్ మెకానిజంలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతాం.
Absolutely. We always just coping. We are not actually living.
Exactly.
We are just coping. We are just trying to, as I said, not trying to sweep a lot of it under the carpet.
Yes.
And I think that's why alcohol, drugs.
Something like, yeah,
These have
alternate
yeah, because the support system of a joint family is gone. So people are coping, just let me work Monday to Friday,
అంటే మరీ
Saturday.
జాయింట్ సిస్టమ్ అనే కన్నా ద సపోర్ట్ సిస్టమ్ ఆఫ్
Yeah,
సపోర్టింగ్ ద కోర్ ఆఫ్ అ బీయింగ్.
yeah. No, see, if today, if I'm in a job and I've had a bad day at job, and I come back to grandparents, I come back to mother, father, I come back to an uncle, I come back to an auntie, I come back to nephews and nieces, ఇంట్లో ఎంతమంది ఉంటే, whatever the stress of that work, or if I come and
In a
just
different way, yeah,
ఒకవేళ అనుకున్న పిన్ని అక్కడ ఉన్నారు, సో నా పిన్ని దగ్గర కూర్చొని నా బాస్ ఇట్లా చెప్పారు, బాస్ ఇట్లా, బాస్ ఇది మాట్లాడి సిస్టమ్ నుంచి బయట వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. పిన్ని ఒక 4 మాటలు చెప్తారు, పర్లేదు.
సో మేజర్లీ ఇట్స్ అబౌట్ లెటింగ్ ఇట్ అవుట్.
But now what happens is, if you see a lot of these, especially when the whole IT revolution happened, people imagine small cities, tier 2, tier 3, చిన్న ఊరు నుంచి పెద్ద సిటీస్కి వచ్చేస్తున్నారు. హైదరాబాద్ లాంటి సిటీస్కి వచ్చి దే ఆర్ స్టేయింగ్ యాజ్ పీజీస్, ఆర్ దే ఆర్ స్టేయింగ్ ఆన్ దేర్ ఓన్. Just and then they get married, then just husband and wife are staying, the parents are somewhere ఊర్లో ఎక్కడ ఉన్నారు. So then what is the coping mechanism? Let's party, let's get drunk, or let's do drugs. So sometimes I wonder, government, instead of just banning drugs are not good, what is the alternative are you giving them? Like when you see these road laborers, వాళ్ళకి సరిగా తిండి ఉండదు, వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో సరిగా తిండి ఉండదు. సో that's why they go to that chotu government alcohol shop and buy alcohol and they drink. What else can that man do when he's going through so much pain, emotional pain? He doesn't have food, he doesn't have money to provide for his child. So instead of just making
trying
alcohol,
to forget the problems.
Yeah, alcohol and drugs are bad. There is no doubt about it. There is no discussion only that there is no justification. But why it is happening? Why people should start looking at it as a more global phenomenon rather than an isolated
or a whole picture problem.
Yeah, it's like they have to see the whole picture. So when these youngsters are coming back to their apartments, like, so we have the mobile phone or the laptop, they just watch endless amount of Netflix or Prime or whatever OTT platforms, and then you have social media, which is giving you a false sense of reality.
Of a person.
Yeah, my friend just went to a holiday to say Kashmir, and he's putting all nice pictures of Kashmir, and I'm sitting in this dark dingy room after my boss has tortured me the whole day. So the level of frustration that guy or that girl might be going through, and what is the expression? Because if you call up home and complain,
they'll just say come back
of phone is not something that can give you
connect.
that connect. So I don't know where I've gone talking. I just gone to another dimension.
I understand from where you're coming, because at the end of the day, we are social beings.
Yeah.
When we are social beings, all that we actually understand and we need is that energy. ఇందాక అనుకున్నాం చూసారా, మనం ఒకళ్ళ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి ఒక ప్రాబ్లం మాట్లాడాలంటే వాళ్ళు సొల్యూషన్ ఇస్తారని కాదు. People are coming to you for your energy.
Exactly.
People are coming to you for you to just be there, so that they find the strength to find themselves back.
True.
అది ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు నన్ను చాలా మంది అడుగుతారు, పద్మజ ఇదంతా పెడుతున్నావు నువ్వు, ఇదైనా అలైన్ చేస్తున్నావు, ఎమోషనల్ వెల్నెస్ అంటున్నావు, ఎంతమందికి అర్థమవుతుంది? ఐ సెడ్ it's okay. I know it's a slow process because people want to shy away. చదువు కన్నా బయట ఉన్న ఉద్యోగాల కన్నా I think this emotional understanding of what a person is the most important, and that's the most underrated and underly accepted aspect.
That's it.
And when I've chosen that to be my journey, obviously it's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough.
Yeah.
No, I feel certain souls have a very difficult journey. Certain souls, they ask for what is beyond the norm.
మీరు ఇందాక సోల్ జర్నీ అన్నట్టు నేను నాది చూసాను. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ ఐ డూ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ థెరపీస్ మై సెల్ఫ్. వెన్ ఐ సీ దాట్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ దట్ వీ యాక్చువల్లీ కమ్ విత్ ఇన్ లైఫ్, ఐ థింక్ is a plan that we've had for ourselves. అండ్ ఈరోజు ఇప్పుడు ఒకళ్ళ ప్రాబ్లంలో ఉన్నారు, ఒకళ్ళ వల్ల ప్రాబ్లం వచ్చింది అంటే typically maybe we have a soul contract saying that what, okay fine, ఆ మూమెంట్లో అక్కడికి రా అంటే చాలామంది నాతో ఈ ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ కూడా పెట్టుకుంటారు. హౌ కెన్ యూ సే దట్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ సోల్, హౌ కెన్ యూ సే దట్ దెర్ ఇస్ లైఫ్ ఆఫ్టర్ లైఫ్ అండ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ దాట్. డోంట్ బిలీవ్, ఇట్స్ ఓకే. బట్ దెర్ ఇస్ సర్టన్ రీజన్ ఫర్ సంథింగ్. అండ్ ఉంది అని అనుకుని నాలో నేను ఏమైనా మార్చుకోగలుగుతానేమో అని ఆలోచించినప్పుడు your horizon of thought process increases. Your level of acceptance of self increases. So if it is resourceful, if it is helping, might as well believe in it. If it doesn't, it's okay. But the point is, మనల్ని మనం కాకుండా ఇంకొకరిని అయితే ఎలాగో మార్చలేము.
Absolutely.
What is the only thing that we have?
We have to change ourselves.
That's
the
all.
only thing.
అది మన పర్స్పెక్టివ్స్ ని మార్చుకోవడం తప్ప ఐ డోంట్ థింక్ దెర్ ఇస్. నేను చాలా మందికి ఇదే చెప్తుంటాను. ఇప్పుడు సరే మీరు అన్నారు కదా ఫ్రమ్ మూవీ పర్సనాలిటీ మూవీ, అదే థియేటర్లో 200 మంది కూర్చుని అదే సినిమా చూస్తారు. బయటకు వచ్చి మైక్ పెట్టిన వెంటనే ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళు ఏమని చెప్తారు?
ఎవ్రీ పర్సన్ హ్యాస్ దేర్ ఓన్ వర్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద
పర్స్పెక్టివ్. ఎవ్రీబడి హ్యాస్ దేర్ ఓన్ థింగ్. కానీ అందరికీ మీరు చూపించింది ఒకే సినిమా కదా. సో it's more about how we are taking things because of who we are.
Exactly. And
not
our life
because of the reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
దాన్ని మనము ట్విస్ట్ చేసి అది చేసి ఇది చేసి you know what all happens.
Yeah, I know.
So if we can let children be children,
that is important.
Trust that what we are raising conscious beings where we are giving them the ability to think.
Yes.
We are giving them a platform to express. We are giving them the strength to confide in us. ఇప్పుడు ఏదైనా కూడా అగైన్ మనం స్ట్రిక్ట్ పేరెంట్గా ఉంటే ఈ రోజున ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మనం ఇవ్వక్కర్లేదు. మనం ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇవ్వకపోయినా మనం నేర్పించకపోయినా
they have everything at the touch of a button. They have the whole thing.
సో నేను అనేది ఏంటంటే హౌ ఐ లుక్ అట్ ఇట్ ఇస్, వాళ్ళు చేసేదేదో మీ కళ్ళెదురుగుండా చేస్తే అట్లీస్ట్ యూ విల్ బీ అరౌండ్.
Touch wood, I am lucky to have a boy who's more into yoga and kickboxing,
conscious about health and everything.
He
also
is little extra conscious. First of all, he's a vegetarian because I've raised them as vegetarian kids, and then they had a choice but they chose to be vegetarian. So I don't know much more what I can do for him in terms, because he's already, as I said, నాకు భయం వేస్తుంది నా దృష్టి తగ్గలుతుంది ఇక్కడ నా అబ్బాయికి, but he's already a good boy. But I said, if ever comes a time in your life before you are 25, because this is young years, come and talk to me. Don't think I'm going to scream at you. నేను కోపం పడినా నేను అర్థం చేసుకుంటాను.
More than anything, I will not judge you.
నేను జడ్జ్ చేయను నీకు తాగాలని ఉంది అని అసలు నేను అస్సలు జడ్జ్ చేయను. అందరు తాగుతారు, నాతో వచ్చి మాట్లాడు. And it just sort of like that bubble popped.
Absolutely.
And I could see him relaxing. Oh, my mother is on my side. My mother is understanding me. మా మమ్మీ నాకు జడ్జ్ చేయట్లేదు, కోపం పడట్లేదు, ఇరిటేట్ అవ్వట్లేదు అని. So that bonding has
it'll deepen.
Has deepened. Even for a girlfriend, when he became 15, today 10-year-old kids have girlfriends. So when he started becoming 12, 13, I asked him, do you like any girl? నీకు ఎవరైనా ఇష్టమా, ఏదో క్రష్ ఉందా, స్కూల్లో కానీ లేదు అంటాడు. So when he had a crush, he came and shared it with. I was the first person he shared it with. He did not. I did not find out from somewhere else. అతను వచ్చి నాకు, అకిరా వచ్చి నాకు చెప్పాడు. So that point I felt that might be I did something right.
Absolutely. See, that's the only thing, right? Keeping the communication open with children.
Then my kids know they can talk about
it'll keep everything in place,
and they know their mother will be on their side. That one person in the world they know who will be on their team is their mother. So that confidence I instilled in them. Whatever happens in the world, come to me. Middle of the night, there's a problem, first call, make it to me. I will not be screaming at you. I will be there to help you out. తర్వాత తిడతాను, బట్ ఐ విల్ బి దేర్ ఫస్ట్ ఫర్ యూ. సో
ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈవెన్ వెన్ ఐ స్పీక్ అబౌట్ రిషి ఆల్సో కదా, ద రీజన్ వై ఐ హ్యావ్ దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ అ బాండింగ్ విత్ హిమ్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇస్, బట్ చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి నేను వాడికి 3 పాయింట్లు చెప్పాను వాడికి. ఒకటి, అబద్ధం చెప్పకు. ఏదైనా జరగని అబద్ధం చెప్పకూడదు. నువ్వు అబద్ధం చెప్పావని తెలిసిన రోజున ఆ రోజు ఉంటుంది నీకు.
అంతే.
ద సెకండ్ థింగ్ దట్ ఐ టోల్డ్ హిమ్ ఇస్, తప్పు జరిగితే, తప్పు చేస్తే, ఇట్స్ స్టిల్ ఓకే, బట్ యూ నీడ్ టు బీ ద ఫస్ట్ పర్సన్ హూ విల్ టెల్ మీ. If I get to know from anybody else, that's when you're going to get it. And the third rule is respect. Respect for the other person.
Absolutely.
No matter who they are, where they come from, what they do, no matter. But, respect. And if it's a girl, definitely 10% more respect.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fair అంటాడు వాడు. But then that's how it is.
Yeah.
So
no, you have to tell him why 10% more.
Yes,
That also
I did.
Like for example, when Akira turned 15, now not 15, 14, and I know his classmates will start having periods, the girls.
Yes.
So I know he might be experiencing, while might be on their uniform, they get a stain or something. So I told Akira, you will not feel weird, you will not feel shy. In fact, if you're having a jacket, you're supposed to go and give your jacket to the girl. Ask your classmate if she needs anything, if you can help her, something that you can do for her. Oh, period, oh honey, you are not supposed to make a taboo out of it and run away. And I sat him down and I explained to him how how human beings are born, why periods are there. It is not a taboo thing. So this kind of open communication is also needed.
Very, very important. ఎందుకంటే ఈ రోజు మీరు అన్నట్టు when the teenagers are growing up, relationships have become such a norm. And everything, and they have access. మనకు చెప్పకపోతే
as you said, 3 things that you told Rishi, and the third thing was respect. Respect, yes, more little bit for girls because they go through more of hormonal cycles.
No, I remember once he had come and asked me, Amma, what are periods?
No, what you do is, when he asked you why 10% more, because see, what a man goes through is just a single cycle of testosterone.
Yes.
Women in a day go through estrogen and testosterone and progesterone and this and that, and monthly cycles. So women are little more emotional, more
resilient.
That is different. So little more you have to understand. A man has to understand a female, because it is a biology. That is one thing. And respect, when it comes to general respect, my kids are not allowed to call the drivers or the house help by their names. They have to be called either Anna or Auntie. Or and they are not allowed to be they are not allowed to raise their voices.
Yes.
Even if they are wrong, you're supposed to talk nicely or come to me. I will talk to them.
But you cannot.
You cannot be rude to someone who's elder than you. It's that's one of the cardinal rules. However wrong they are, you come discuss. I'm not saying all elders are right. Sometimes elders can also be wrong.
But then there's a certain way to put it out.
Just because he's your driver, you cannot just call him ani peru pilakoodu. In Marathi we say are ture ante vaadu gidu cheyakodu. You have to say garu, you have to say anna, you have to use andi. You cannot be disrespectful even towards your workers and general society in turn.
Absolutely.
So that respect is also very important. That has to be taught.
అది మళ్ళీ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తే అది అర్థమవుతుంది.
సెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎంటైటిల్మెంట్
ఉండదు. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ ఇందాక అన్నట్టు when he came and asked me, Amma, what is a period? I very normally explained. He just smiled at me. He's like, you know what, I knew all of this. మరి ఎందుకు అడిగావరా అని అడిగా. అంటే నువ్వు నాతో ఎంత ఓపెన్ గా చెప్తావా?
These guys are so intelligent, these kids.
So he was like, you're right, you're pretty open with me. Okay, thanks అని చెప్పి వెళ్ళిపోయాడు. So
they also test us. They also test us as well.
They are testing us every moment.
Yeah, they are.
What I'm saying is,
parents don't realize that, see, a child has to, you cannot demand respect. You have to earn your respect.
Correct.
And you earn respect when you are a step higher than them. When they realize that, oh, mommy is smart.
See,
then they will not mess with you.
What we say and what we do, it needs to be in sync.
Absolutely.
మనం చెప్పేది ఒకటి చేసేది ఒకటి అవుతుంది.
వాళ్ళు రెస్పెక్ట్ చేయరు. Kids, they observe everything. They see everything.
They're watching, they're listening.
Everything. They listen to a phone calls. When we are talking on the phone calls, I have had references after 6 months of a phone call.
కాదు, సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, డ్రైవర్ని కానీ పనాళ్ళని కానీ మీరు అంటే ఇలా రెస్పెక్ట్తో మాట్లాడమని మీరు చెప్పారు. మీరు ఫోన్ ఎత్తో లేకపోతే మీ ఎదురుగుండా వాళ్ళ ఎదురుగుండా మీరు ఇంకో రకంగా తిడితే,
so they will not,
where will it be?
They will not understand. Action and words are not matching. So if I'm giving respect and I'm telling them to give respect, they automatically give
it falls in place. So
like I pick up my own plate. I will, even if I'm shooting or even at home, I always pick up my own plate. Unless it's really short is there and I have to eat and then my spot boy takes the plate. Otherwise, even today, I pick up my plate and put it down. So we have to also set examples as parents a lot.
మనం చెప్పేది వినరు, మనం చూపించింది చూస్తారు వాళ్ళు.
True. That is absolutely
so
true.
I think that's what needs.
Yes.
So through this entire discussion, what do you think we've actually decoded? Even these antaru meer perspectives తీసాం.
What we have decoded is the concept of honest parenting. Be honest with your kids, sincere parenting, and respect your kids. They are not, just because they're kids, they are not stupid. They're very intelligent. Kids are very, trust me, even with in regards to money also, kids are very intelligent.
మనం ఇందాక ఎవల్యూషన్ మాట్లాడినట్టు they're already a few steps ahead of in evolution than us. So obviously they know and they have the the intrinsic wisdom is already there.
Because I remember myself as a child.
Yeah.
I remember how I was when I was 16. I remember how I was when I was 10, what sense of intelligence I had, and how my parents were treating me.
Sometimes I feel, had we had even a percentage of the clarity that they have today,
Yes.
the understanding,
Yes.
and the access to everything that,
Access to information.
yeah, everything that they have today. So
Yeah.
I think they're, definitely a better space than, from where we had been.
See, again, it depends now, Padmaja, because it can go
The other way
negative
also.
way
The
also,
other way
because they have too
also.
much
Yes,
information.
yes.
Today, why my daughter is seeing Black Lives Matter, which is happening in US.
Correct.
And she's getting affected by it over here. So
Yeah.
they also have an overload of information.
Yes,
so
which is
we
not
need
needed.
to start telling them wrong things have been happening in this universe right from day one. Wars have been fought, people have been murdered, rapes have happened. Not necessarily everything is happening to you. If it's just happening like, or there's some tsunami or there's some earthquake, and they're seeing those images of kids and people dying in the earthquake. We had a very bad one recently in Syria. So yes, you have to have empathy, but you can't start feeling.
You can't actually take
that
onus
pain.
of
Take
all
that
of that
pain.
into
Yeah.
it.
So it's a double-edged thing. Technology, they get
Plus also
information
that also.
for their growth and easy access, but also they get excessive information which we did not have. When I was a 12-year-old, I had no clue what was happening where I only knew what was happening around me and a little bit in the country.
Yeah.
I had might be Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. That much I remember as a child.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one big moment. Oh, our prime minister got assassinated and big discussions. But I did not on a day-to-day basis. As a
Know
child,
so
I did not
much.
have any kind of a negative. So parents, also today's parents have to understand is they're getting so much information.
Yeah.
So much negative information. So that also affects their...
So keeping the channel open, with the children and keeping the communication
to make them understand,
simple.
to make them understand that yes, there is good, there is bad, and for that we have to do our own journey. We have
Absolutely,
to. Yeah.
Kada.
So
Like,
the parents should also. I asked one of my therapists. I said, "Then does the child needs to come for therapy?" He said, "No, the parents have to come for therapy."
Yes.
The parents
In fact,
should come for therapy.
yes, when a lot of parents come and ask me, ma pillal cheptara, I said, no, first you come.
You come.
Then we will see, from where it is actually.
Yeah, that's
going.
what my therapist said. The parents have to come for therapy, not the kids.
Yeah.
So the parents will.
And I have seen parents who initially had resistance. Are naake undi nen baane unnan kada, pillalak kada. But when they start coming, the way they respond to how the child is, or what they speak, what they ask, and everything has changed. And when this changes, the child is automatically changing.
I've
So
seen that a lot,
sarpothindi.
like there are a lot of kids which they're throwing temper tantrums and they're screaming, 5-year-old, 6 years old, they're out of control.
Yeah.
Then when you look into the parents, you'll see where the root is coming from.
Simple thing. Bus morning 8 o'clock ko lepote 7 o'clock ko anukunte, the exact 15 minutes before that, what a war zone it is.
In my house, it is the most peaceful because everything is night organized.
Yes.
Everything is organized.
That's what.
Not once there has been, for the last, Akira is 19 and he started going to first stand when he was 5. So approximately 13 years. Last 1 year, he's finished his school. 13 years of schooling I have done. Not one morning has been chaotic.
Exactly.
It's a record. Everything, your night school uniform, your dabba, your water bottle, your bag. Every night I'll ask. Everything is organized. Earlier when they were younger, I used to do it.
Enduku? Because you're asking.
Now
how
I'm
many
10.
of us?
Now I ask them, show me. Where's your uniform? Where are your socks? Where are your shoes? So morning there is no running around searching for things and going crazy.
So it's all about how we set the entire environment as such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's an environment, everything. It's I'm telling you, parenting. The more we talk about it, we can first of all talk about it for hours. It's an endless topic, and it's very individualistic again. Every child is unique, every parent is unique, and if they start understanding the whole accepting that yes, I can be wrong as a mother or I can be wrong as a father.
Acceptance.
Accepting.
Absolutely
And
acceptance.
Kids are intelligent. I keep on saying that always. Kids are very intelligent.
ఇప్పుడు ఇందా నుంచి మనం ఎంటైటిల్మెంట్ అన్నట్టు పిల్లలకి ఒకరికే కాదు కదా, ఎల్డర్స్ ఆల్సో ది ఎంటైటిల్మెంట్ దట్ దే హ్యావ్ దట్ ఐ యామ్ రైట్ ఆల్వేస్.
పెద్దవాళ్ళంటే రైటే ఉండాలి, పెద్దవాళ్ళంటే రెస్పెక్ట్ ఇవ్వాలి. ఐ కెన్ షో యూ ఇనఫ్ క్రేజీ ఓల్డ్ పీపుల్ who have no sense. 1% sense will also be there. So why should we respect them is also my daughter asked me.
There was a point once when she had come and asked me, why are they hurting somebody by talking like that?
Yes, exactly.
Adi enduku ani adithe, then I had to explain to him that Rishi, you're able to see that because no child correcte, but emotionally you're much more educated.
Yes.
You're much more mature and much more
You were
accepting
raised
than that
differently.
person.
Yeah.
So they're not. ఇప్పుడు చదివేసుకున్నాము మేము పెద్ద ఉద్యోగాలు చేస్తున్నాం అంటే కాదు కదా. That aspect has to be understood.
It's a very deep discussion.
Again, yeah,
Sometimes
lovely.
nowadays with this cancel culture to say things also, na people have stopped responding. People are only reacting. First they have to react.
Yeah.
Video comes, react.
Yeah.
They will not see it. They will not sit and think and respond to the video or the whatever is happening. Everything is about views and TRPs and creating.
If so many people are saying that, that must be true.
Cancel culture, I call it.
Yeah.
It's the cancel culture. Cancel.
It was a wonderful discussion. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming in.
My
And
pleasure.
yes, this emotional journeys and the mental well-being. And I see you as somebody who's gone a deep dive into all of that.
Very deep dive. I've still just spoken like I'm literally censoring quite a bit of what
I know because
I can talk, but I don't want to get into again another headaches I get into.
oh, but it was wonderful having you.
Same,
Thank you so much.
Same, thank you so much for calling.